At home, Johnny is on the phone with Chanel, telling her that their little guy conked out before finishing his bottle. He has to go when Leo shows up, who happens to need Johnny's help. Leo says this needs to be kept confidential, and he happened to catch EJ talking with Gwen at the gala. Leo wants Johnny to pull up the footage Holly took, zoom in, and boost their audio. Leo explains he's been working on a story, that EJ built a secret lab in the back of the free clinic Gwen is somehow involved, and perhaps this has to do with the disappearance of his family members. Johnny pulls up the footage on his laptop, zooms in, and Leo tries to read their lips. EJ tells Gwen to handle something, and Gwen mentions a delivery. Johnny says this will take a while to work on the audio, and he'll send Leo the video as soon as he's done editing it. In Horton Square, Stephanie and Alex are carrying a fresh tree home. They stop for coffee, and Alex says he's never known someone who loves Christmas as much as she does. Alex spots Maggie giving Jeremy a hug across the way and quickly gets Stephanie out of there, suggesting they get the tree home. Maggie and Jeremy grab a table, and he tells her all about his trip to New York. They talk about Jeremy finding his calling as a teacher and little Rachel and Thomas, who are his students. Jeremy sides with Chad in this custody issue. Maggie admits she's been conflicted between Jen and Chad, but hopes someone finds Chad soon. Jeremy knows Titan has been going through some rough times, and if there is anything he can do to help, then just say the word. Maggie explains that one of their authors has been receiving letters from a problematic fan who lives right here in Salem. Jeremy guesses it's Stephanie, and Alex put her up to asking him if he's the obsessed fan. Jeremy fumes that his family thinks so little of him, and his tone grows very hostile. Maggie says she didn't believe it was him, but she felt he had to ask. Jeremy feels she's no longer in his corner, which is sad, as she was like a grandma to him. Instead, she thinks the worst of him, like everyone else, and he storms off, leaving Maggie in tears. Alex and Stephanie arrive home with a tree, and Stephanie becomes obsessed with making sure the tree looks perfect. They argue over whether it's crooked and end up cracking it. Alex says they can get another, but Stephanie refuses to cut down another poor living tree. They then start fantasizing about having their own yard to plant their trees in, and kids, and a dog running around. They eventually get the tree standing, and Stephanie has to accept that it's just not going to be perfect. They're interrupted by a phone call, but Stephanie ignores it, impressing Alex. Stephanie says her New Year's resolution is to find more balance between her work life and love life, which Alex likes. They end up kissing and getting passionate on the couch. Eventually, they pull out boxes of ornaments, and Alex thinks about all the cheesy ornaments their kids will make for them one day. She notes that he's had kids on his mind a lot today. He says it must be their time with Johnny and Trey. He never thought he'd settle down or have kids before he met her. They embrace, and Stephanie clearly worries. In Rafe's office, he and Kat discuss how everything she saw in the secret room is gone, and clearly, someone caught Kat snooping around. Rafe fears her cover may be blown, and drugging EJ was an unnecessary risk. Kat explains she was worried about Chad, and she's been putting together a timeline. She believes the texts sent to Julie from Chad were from someone else, and both she and Rafe feel the calls Tony made from the cruise ship may have been from someone else as well. As they discuss suspects, Kat notes Rafe seems very focused on EJ and wonders if his bias is clouding his judgment. Rafe is aware of his bias, but he also knows the DiMeras will choose money and power over their own family members, so he's putting his money on EJ. At the DiMera mansion, EJ has summoned Gwen to inform her that someone tipped off Jada that Rolf has been in the secret room. Gwen assures him it wasn't her. They bicker until EJ realizes it must have been Leo, who has been buzzing around here for weeks, and Rita caught him at the lab in October. Gwen insists she told Leo nothing, and he doesn't know anything. EJ needs assurance, and if he doesn't get it, he'll have to take care of Leo one way or the other. Gwen asks what he's going to do to Leo, and the DiMera says, "Best you not know." EJ makes a call and gives someone an important job to do, ASAP. Gwen walks out the front door to find Leo standing there. She says he shouldn't be here, but Leo says he is proof that she and EJ are in dastardly cahoots together. He says when he exposes them, they'll both be in jail, unless she comes clean right now. In the crypt, Theo walks around with a human bone, commenting on how macabre this is. Theo asks Chad if they should wake up Tony and Kristen to tell them about this, but Chad says they should let them sleep. Plus, Chad hates to say it, but they could be Abigail's remains, which were never recovered. Theo studies the bones and notes something. He looks at a femur and doesn't think it is Abigail's, given how large it is. Abigail was smaller than this person, and Chad is relieved to hear that. If he had to guess, based on one anatomy class he took, Theo says the bones are those of a man. Theo notes that several DiMera males have been MIA, like Stefan and Dimitri. Chad says it could be a family enemy. Suddenly, they hear the crypt door open. Alex eventually must get to work, and kisses Steph goodbye. However, on his way out, Alex sees a mysterious letter on the table addressed to him. He opens it and white powder falls out. He exclaims, "What the hell?" We then see a shot of a laptop screen, with the user devoted and unseen sending the message, "Don't try to kill him. If you go to prison, you'll never get the girl." Hands type a reply from SansFan69. "Damn, why didn't I think of that? Guess I'll have to make sure I don't get caught." At home, Johnny checks on the baby and wonders what his dad is up to now. He promises his son that he'll never hurt him and will be the kind of father he can be proud of. In Rafe's office, Kat says she must get to work. Rafe tells her not to take any more dumb risks and watch her back. If EJ knows about her, then her whole family could be in danger. Outside the mansion, Gwen tells Leo he should be focused on protecting Javi from having to see his lifeless body pulled out of the Salem River. She advises him to go away for a while and keep his nose out of things. She says, "I hear the Death Star is offering vacation packages." Leo is puzzled by the statement. Is Death Star a clue? Gwen heads back inside, pours herself a drink, and finds EJ's phone on the ground. But no EJ. In the crypt, Chad and Theo discover another person has joined them. They roll over the face-down, unconscious man, and it's EJ.